Our final quarterfinal from Cape Fear Community College in this 2023 Region 10 Division II basketball tournament. It's the 3-6 matchup. Fayetteville Tech Trojans, the 3 seed at 22-7, 16-6 in the region, taking on the 6 seed Pitt Bulldogs at 17-13 and 12-10 in the region. As you can see, we had an upset, in our previous game as the 10 seed Lenore took down 2nd seeded Bryant. Sorry about that, folks. Chris Shima, glad to be back with you. So both teams coming up empty in their opening possessions, as the first bucket of the game belongs to James Richardson, averaging 9.6 points per ball game. So Pitt has won 4 of 5 entering the quarterfinals. In the first round, they beat Southwest Virginia 85-74. 3 up top by Huggins, Avery Huggins. 25th in scoring in Division II, 20 points per ball game, 5th in rebounding at 12.5. Region 10 Player of the Year, leads the country in blocks per game at 4.2. So Pitt's won 4 of 5. 3 in transition off the make for Fayetteville Tech. So the Trojans 5-3. Trojans, meanwhile, they've won 7 of 8 entering this tournament. DJ Squire, who hit the 3, almost came up with the steal. McLaughlin on the near side with 8 to shoot. Scoops it right side. Triggering the triple. Martin can't get it to go. Tip for the rebound. Here come the Trojans. Fayetteville Tech looking to draw contact, and we'll have some free throws. Fayetteville, I mentioned, they've won 7 of 8 entering the tournament. The Trojans, 22-7 overall. February, they had their season high in three-point shooting at 33%. Offensive rebounds at 15.3. Assists per game at 14.1. Jamari Bryant gets his first free throw, 63%. First team all-region. Bryant, 18.7 points per ball game, 11 rebounds a game, 8th best in the country in that category. 2 blocks a game, he's 15th in the country. And Bryant has 2. So 3 for Squire, 2 for Richardson, 2 for Bryant. Trojans 7, Bulldogs 3. Near side Martin for Pitt. From Greenville, North Carolina. Catch and shoot 3 over on the right side is good. I believe it was Jalen Hines burying the triple. 1-point game. Jamari Bryant on the elbow. Hand off to Richardson. Pitt getting the turnover here. Martin left alone. He'll fire again. This time he hits. Martin is 27th in three-point shooting in the country. 43% on the year. Don't want to leave him wide open. Bulldogs take the lead. Here is Potter. Down low, and free throws to come here on the second team foul on Pitt. So Jeremy Bryant now at the line. What a year for this Bryant. Jeremy Bryant, 24th in the country in scoring in Division II, 20.8. 18th in rebounds at 10 a game. Second team all region. And he gets both free throws. So good free throw shooting at the start here for the Trojans. Jeremy Bryant, double digits in all 22 games played. 15 double-doubles. Martin again. Rebound control by the Trojans. All even at 9. We expect this one to be a barn burner. Pitt, they've won 4 of 5, lost 5 straight prior to that. Started the season 4-1, 17-13 overall. Here's Richardson. Jamari Bryant. Looking down low for Jeremy. Ball deflected, and boy, Jeremy Bryant almost came to steal that back, just ran out of room. So it'll stay with Pitt. McLaughlin into the forecourt. McLaughlin tied for 38th in assists per game at 4.6. Hesitates now, looking for his shot here, and that's an air ball. So Trojans will get it back. We've played about 4.5 minutes. Fayetteville Tech is the top free throw team in the country in attempts at 28.7 and makes at 19.2. They turn it over here. 2-on-1 now for Pitt. Slam dunk for the Bulldogs. It was Philip Martin now with 5. Bulldogs lead. They get another steal. Back-to-back turnovers. No call there. A lot of contact. Layup no good. Richardson comes away with it. Trojans going quickly. The 3 is good for Aaron Potter. 26% three-point shooter. Gets that one to go for the Trojans. Martin now Huggins. Back to Martin. Smith goes back to Martin with 12 to shoot. Martin gets a screen, goes to the bucket, hangs it short. Offensive rebound, turnaround Huggins, no. Ball tipped, and a third crack at it here on this sequence for the Bulldogs. And they throw it away. It's a steal by Jeremy Bryant. So James Richardson will walk it up for the Trojans. They have a 1-point lead. Near side, Jamari Bryant. Potter. Backing down his man. Swings it out to... the tip is good. Down low, that's Jeremy Bryant. With his second field goal. He's got 4. Well, it is hard to see those. I'm calling the game remotely, folks, and that yellow on gray is real difficult to see. Squire, I believe, took the first shot. McLaughlin now to Smith up top. Martin steps to his right, can't get the 3 to go. Richardson the rebound. Had it poked away by McLaughlin, but a foul is called on the Bulldogs. So 3 team fouls on Pitt. None yet for Fayetteville Tech. And we're going to have our first timeout. 13:25 to go. Trojans 14. Bulldogs 11. We'll be right back here in just a moment. As we get a look at the all-region selections here in 2023, and special congratulations to Avery Huggins, the Player of the Year. What a stat line for him this year for Pitt. 20.1 points per ball game, 25th in the country, 50% shooting, 12.5 rebounds, 5th in the country in that category, 3.1 assists for a big guy, 4.2 blocks. That's tied for first in the country. Green in the game for Fayetteville. Now Richardson attacks and banks it. James Richardson with his second field goal for the Trojans. They lead by 5. Martin scoops it out. McLaughlin gets it back. Here is Roberts. Carl Roberts off the bench first for Pitt. He had it poked away, and we got a whistle. Huggins tried to save it, and I think the Trojans fouled him with the shot clock winding down. 12:40 to go here in this opening half. 5-point lead for Fayetteville. Jaquan Mosley will come in for Pitt. Robert inbound to McLaughlin, who will set up the offense. Garen Jones is in. That was swatted. Trojans getting the stop, averaging close to 4 blocks a game. In transition, Fayetteville Tech gets it to go. So Fayetteville Tech by 7. Roberts on the near side. Moncrief got the bucket, by the way. Scoop is no good. Slam dunk by Huggins to answer back. Avery Huggins with 5. Six different players have scored for the Trojans at the start of this one. No contact there, they say. Huggins comes away with it. Huggins stripped. Nice recovery there by Jones, I believe. Corner 3 by Huggins. No good. Rebound controlled by the Trojans. Here is Green with the extra pass. Another bucket. Jeremy Bryant with 6. Martin gets it out, McLaughlin. Here is Huggins. Martin thought about the 3, cut off on the baseline, threw it away. And Richardson to the bucket. Trojans with a good start here. They lead it by 9. Hanging McLaughlin. Big bucket there for Patrick to answer back. Bryant will walk it up for the Trojans. And he loses it. Bounce pass goes to Roberts, gets it right back to Huggins, who recovers after the miss. Mosley almost threw it away, and both teams getting in passing lanes here. DJ Squire going to come back in. Aaron Potter returns. I don't have a number 10 for Fayetteville. Boy, this is... I'm trying, Trojan fans. They're really making me work for it tonight. 4th game. Who could number 10 be? Ball tip, no good. We got a foul called on the newly inserted Amir Ross for Pitt. Number 10 is James Jones for Fayetteville. He was not on the roster we were given, but he's out there. Moncrief gets it into the corner, and that triple is good. So Squire comes back in, hits his second three, and it's all Trojans here, 25-15. Trying to answer back, Pitt does. Avery Huggins, the player of the year, has 8 of the 18, trying to keep his team hanging around here early. Down low, couple of fakes, bucket no good by Potter. 9 minutes to go here in this opening half. Roberts gets it to Martin on the right wing. Roberts back to him against the zone for the Trojans. Shot clock down to 7 for Pitt. Mosley attacks, can't score. Rebound by Jamari Bryant. In the corner, it's Green. Back out to Potter. Potter is stripped. And then Fayetteville strips it right back. Jamari Bryant with the steal and score for the Trojans. Inside 8 to go. Fayetteville Tech 27-18. The 3 seed over the 6 seed right now. Ooh. It touched all the rim, but Roberts gets it to go for Pitt. His first 2. Bryant calls for it in the corner. Gets it, attacks. Swings it back out. Squire again. Not that time. Offensive rebound goes to Potter, as Green came up with the offensive board. Jones back to Potter. 9 to shoot. Potter got to get to work. 5 to shoot. 4 to shoot. Here is Squire over a triple team, and it's a shot clock violation. That's one of those rules they got to change. Defense gets the stop. Let them go. Don't blow that whistle. Benefits the offensive team. We go to a timeout. 6:59 to go in this first half. Trojans leading it by 7. That's me, Chris Shima. Glad to be with you here tonight for our 4th and final quarterfinal game. I'm at the home studio in Greenville, South Carolina. We've got the better downtown than Greenville, North Carolina, but you all have us beating barbecue by a landslide. I love going to Greenville, North Carolina for some barbecue. I try a different place every time. Back to action now. It's Huggins hanging, can't score. Rebound controlled by the Trojans. 6.5 to play. Trojans by 7. Potter. This is Richardson. Squire in the game. Moncrief and Jeremy Bryant. Yeah, Jeremy Bryant out there for Fayetteville. And the broadcaster with the 50-inch screen TV in front of his face is still struggling to see these jerseys. It's fine when they're not in motion, but basketball tends to be a game where there's not a lot of standing around. So they changed the shot clock to 18. Potter to inbound here for the Trojans. 22-win season. Ooh, what a nasty block there from the top blocker in the country. Huggins, 102 now total blocks, first in Division II. 301 total rebounds, seventh in Division II. 20 double-doubles in 24 games played. Player of the year here in Region 10, showing you why with those stats. Potter on the left side now, and he traveled, shuffled his feet. Bulldogs get a stop. We kind of expected it to be low scoring, and it has been relatively low scoring here at the start of this one. The first meeting, Pitt won at 68-66. Second meeting, Trojans won a little easier, 81-70. So the second meeting a little higher scoring than the first. But this time of the year, defense is key. Huggins, the flip. You know that's good for Avery Huggins. First player in double figures with 10. (27-22). Squire. Potter for three. Hit one from that spot. Too strong that time. Bryant able to save it to Potter, who cuts in. Got fouled by Smith. So Aaron Potter going to go to the free throw line here. We have throughout the day and into the evening here, we've had a few buffering moments with the stream at Cape Fear. Hasn't been too bad. We haven't missed anything key, but if it does happen, we will kind of just ride it out because that's about all we can do. Jamari Bryant back into the game for Fayetteville. So 1 out of 2 for Potter. He's got 4. Trojans back up by 6. 5:27 to go in the half. McLaughlin running the point for the Bulldogs. Winner of this game will play Lenore. That's right. The 10 seed won it, folks. Huggins driving baseline, the pull-up. Had the mismatch, couldn't get the bucket, and then it's off the Bulldogs, out of bounds. Five team fouls on the Bulldogs, just 1 so far for Fayetteville. Mentioned that free throw shooting decided or played a major factor in the first 2 games. You can keep Fayetteville off the line, you've got a chance. Down low, shot no good by Bryant. Throw ahead goes to Roberts. Smith, catch and shoot McLaughlin for 3, too strong. Offensive rebound controlled by Pitt. That was Hines with the board, by the way. Jalen Hines, who started the game back out there. It looks like the starting unit is, well, no, Roberts is still in. Roberts attacks, throws it, no. Tip for the rebound, Huggins has it. Huggins, no on the putback. Frustrated with himself, wanted the and one. Instead, he'll go to the line. Avery Huggins, 78% free throw shooter. Second team foul on Fayetteville. Huggins with 11 points for the Bulldogs here tonight. Philip Martin back in the game, averages 13 a game. He's got 5. So Huggins gets them both, up to a dozen for Avery and another whistle. Looks like we're going to get a sub here. Deshaun Woods into the game for Derek Mullins. He's been coaching Pitt since 2010. Local guy. I got to talk to Coach Mullins. I bet you he's got a barbecue spot up there that I haven't heard about yet. You know, locals know, right? Here's Squire on the left wing. Bryant sets a screen. Jamari Bryant turnaround, no. Potter outworking two defenders, no. Jeremy Bryant couldn't get it, so 3 cracks at it, but Fayetteville Tech holds. Attacking Martin down low, and that's a slam dunk for the player of the year. Avery Huggins has 14 points. Bulldogs cut the deficit down to just 2. Biggest lead for the Trojans today has been 7, I believe. Richardson, Squire. Hangs, can't score. Tip for the rebound. It comes to Bryant, and he's fouled. So Jamari Bryant will go to the free throw line. 63% free throw shooter. 8th in rebounding in the country at 11.1. Jamari Bryant, 101 offensive rebounds, 10th best in Division II. 300 total rebounds is 7th best. And as you see there, he's a good offensive rebounder. 53 blocks total on the year, 13th in the country. Double-digit scoring in all but one game this year, 21 double-doubles. He and Jeremy Bryant have combined for 36 double-doubles for Fayetteville Tech this season. I saw them play Brunswick at the Wake Tech Classic. When was that? I don't even know. I think it was after Christmas, still in December. But anyways, Bryant gets them both. Both Bryants have 6 each. They almost took down Brunswick, who will be the 2 seed in the upcoming Division I tournament. That Dolphins team is a good team. Brunswick ended up winning it. One of the rare losses of the year for Fayetteville. 3-pointer no good. Down low. Answering back is Smith. Deshaun Smith, 8.5 points per ball game, 5.1 rebounds, gets his first bucket as we go inside 3 to play. Trojans break the press, attacking Bryant can't score. It was Jeremy the first time, Jamari the second time, and who will it be the third time here for Fayetteville? Richardson top of the key. Squire into the corner for Jeremy, and he swishes in the 3. Jeremy Bryant's got 9. A 39% three-point shooter. Spinning Martin, and he draws the whistle. That's the 3rd on the Trojans. Brian Hurd not happy with the call. It's just the 3rd, though, on Fayetteville. Philip Martin, a 74% free throw shooter. I'll tell you, I said this once before this year, and I'll say it again. I've been so impressed, both Bryan and Stratton, but especially Fayetteville, with how they've built this athletic program. This is a relatively new program. Within the last 10 years, I don't know exactly when, but Brian Hurd, and not just Brian Hurd, but the rest of the athletic department, all of the coaches have done a nice job building their teams up. So Pitt's cut it down to 3, 33-30. 2 minutes to go in the half. Jeremy, tip pass by Potter to Squire, off on the 3. Bryant, the putback. Jamari Bryant for 2. Jamari's got 8. Jeremy's got 9. Squire with 6. Richardson has 4. There's Martin for Pitt. And a reach on Squire. 14 fouls now on the Trojans. So Smith will inbound it for the Bulldogs. Martin looking to drive, bucket, and the foul for Philip Martin, who looks to go into double figures here in the first half. So Martin with 9, he can make it 10 at the charity stripe. Trojans all of a sudden racking up the fouls here. Potter looking for an explanation. And the free throw is good. As Rasheed Wallace says, ball don't lie. 2-point game. Minute 25 to go here until halftime. About as expected here between these two teams. In the corner, it's Jeremy Bryant. No, Jamari had the offensive rebound, and they say he touched it last out of bounds. Trying to say it was off of Martin, but the official not biting on that. Minute 10 to go. Pitt can tie it or take the lead with a triple. And that's going to be a foul called on Fayetteville Tech. They're 6th now. What was Richardson doing there? Or did they call an offensive foul on that? It was an offensive foul, so it's the 7th on the Bulldogs. It's an offensive foul, though, so no free throws on an offensive foul, but Trojans in the 1-and-1 for what little remains of the half. Jeremy in the corner, Jamari in the lane with the fake, lost the handle, and it's a steal by Hines for Pitt. Throwhead goes to Smith on the far side, and he got fouled. Or no, he was out of bounds. My apologies. So back-to-back turnovers by the Bulldogs, who have gotten sloppy. They'll bring Mosley into the game for Smith. .47 seconds to go in the half. Richardson, Potter, now Squire, dribbles it back out to Potter. Richardson now to Bryant in the corner. Jeremy out to Potter for 3. No good. Jamari, another offensive rebound. So good. Couldn't get the putback. Hanging and scoring, though, is Jeremy Bryant. Goes into double figures with 11. First player for Fayetteville Tech in double figures. Avery Huggins, the Region 10 Player of the Year, is 14. Philip Martin with 10 for Pitt here in the half. Last shot time if they want it. They go quick instead. That was Huggins again. So 16 and a half for Huggins. And the half-court heave is no good for the Trojans. A tight one as expected. It's the 3-seed Fayetteville Tech leading the 6-seed Pitt CC. 37-35. We'll be back after the halftime break. Don't go too far. Just about ready to start the second half in our final quarterfinal game here today at Cape Fear Community College in downtown Wilmington. One more trip to the semifinals on the line. Winner will play the 10 seed Lenore, who took down Bryan and Stratton. Chris Sheeman back here with you at the home studio in Greenville, South Carolina. 20 minutes to go. Not much decided in this one. The 3 seed does have the advantage. Fayetteville Tech at 22-7. Over the 6 seed, Pitt CC, the Bulldogs 17-13. 37-35 as we're underway here in the second half. For Pitt, 2 players in double figures. Region Player of the Year Avery Huggins has 16 points. As Jamari Bryant gets into double figures. More on him later. Philip Martin with 10. 3 for Hines. 2 apiece for McLaughlin, Roberts, and Smith. So that's the scoring for the Bulldogs. Now for Fayetteville. No surprise. I mentioned Jamari Bryant now in double figures. Ooh, that 3 went halfway down and came out for Smith. Too bad there, but Bulldogs come up empty. So, Jeremy Bryant with 11, Jamari Bryant with 10, DJ Squire with 6, 4 for Potter, 4 for James Richardson, and off the bench, Rayvon Moncrief with 2 points. That's the scoring for both of these teams as we're underway in this second half. Semi-final game against Lenore for the winner will be at 4 p.m. approximately tomorrow. Oh, the Bryants hooking up. Couldn't get the bucket, though. It's tipped up and in by Richardson. James Richardson with 6. Nice play. Trojans back up by 6. Biggest lead, 7 or 8 in that first half. No teams really run away with this one. McLaughlin over to Huggins. Back to McLaughlin. In the corner, it's Martin, one of the best three-point shooters in the country. Martin, shot clock down to 7. McLaughlin to Smith. The baseline jumper, no. Rebound controlled by Squire. Richardson running the point for the Trojans. Squire on the wing. Richardson, zone right now for the Bulldogs. These two teams split the regular season. Squire for 3, gets it to go. DJ Squire, his 3rd triple. So Trojans now have their biggest lead at 9. Got to be careful here if you're the Bulldogs. Both teams want to start the half strong, and right now the Trojans looking to go up double figures. Need an answer here if you're Pitt. Martin contested jumper is not going to do it. Jeremy Bryant with the rebound. Trojans won the most recent meeting back on February 4th, 81-70. Pitt won the first meeting by 2. That was back in December. Corner 3, yes, and he's fouled. Squire again. My apologies, that was Potter. Potter's got 7 and a chance for a 4-point play here for Pitt, who goes up 12. 63% free throw shooter, Aaron Potter at the line. Got it to go. 8 for Potter. Trojans by 13 points. Huggins answers back. Avery Huggins with 18 points, and they're going to need him to go off. Not much else is happening for the Bulldogs. Jeremy Bryant for Fayetteville. Splits the defense, swatted by Huggins, and an offensive foul to boot. .49 to go in the game. Both teams with a team foul. Free throws were the story in both meetings. Trojans were +10 in the second meeting. that they won by 11 points. All the other stats were even. Pitt won by 2 in the first meeting, and Pitt was +8 in free throws. This Trojans team is one of the best in the country getting to the free throw line. In fact, they are the top team in attempts and makes. They come up with a steal here. It's Jamari Bryant. Attack stripped. Staying with it, though, Potter. Richardson now will set up the offense. Potter, left wing 3. Airballed that one. Rebound by Hines. Jalen Hines getting the start here in this one. Attacking is Huggins, and he scores. He's up to 20. Like I said, got to take over if you're Huggins. Recognize your team is struggling a bit at the start of the half and get to work. He's got the last 4 for Pitt. Richardson now for Fayetteville Tech. Potter back to him. Richardson gets it to Jamari. Cuts in, had it swatted. Here come the Bulldogs. After falling behind 12. Alley-oop down low, laying it up and in is Hines. Huggins gets the assist. Hanging can't score. Jeremy Bryant. Oh, Fayetteville makes me work so hard. It's the 4th game of the day. Everybody's name is Bryant. Help. Let's run this back. Nice little alley-oop. We got some of it there. So back at the line now is Jeremy Bryant. Bryant on the season, 73%. Second team foul on the Bulldogs. Bryant gets 1 out of 2. He's got a dozen. Trojans lead it by 8. Martin on the left wing for the Bulldogs. Pitt at 17-13, went 12-10 in the region. Martin hangs, can't score. Tipped up, no. And it's wrestled away by Jeremy Bryant. Potter into the forecourt. Give it to Richardson. Richardson, 6 points here today with the basketball. Back to Potter. This time on the far side of your screen and my screen. Richardson driving baseline into the lane, swatted by Huggins. My goodness, it stays with Fayetteville, 6 to shoot. Out to Jeremy for 3. No good, and they're going to call Jamari, I believe, on the rebound going over the back. Both teams with 2 team fouls, 5.5 minutes into this second half. We had the upset of upsets earlier with the 10 seed Lenore beating Bryan and Stratton. First time that's happened in Region 10 play. I went back to 2017. I couldn't go any further back. I'm sure there's people within the region who might be able to reach out to us and give us more history, but as far as we know, at least in the last 5 or 6 years, the first double-digit seed to reach the semifinals. Huggins out on the wing. Drives baseline, hangs it. No. Rebound by Jamari Bryant. 6 minutes into this second half. Jeremy attacks. Rejected again by Huggins. How many blocks does he have today? Came in 4.2 blocks per game, tied for first in the country in that category. Huggins is the leader in total blocks, though. Came in with 101. He's at least at 105 now, maybe 106. The official's going to call a foul. Guys getting at it. Huggins, player of the year, got to be separated. I believe that was Jamari Bryant. Yeah, it was getting into it with Huggins. Huggins continuing to goat the crowd a little bit, saying it was an intentional foul, and we'll see what the officials say. Looks like just a normal foul to me. So, Well, I don't know here. Who was that? It looks like the foul was on Pitt, not Fayetteville. So they're going to sort it out, make sure everybody's cool. Jamari Bryant and Huggins both got to chill out because you got to keep your wits about yourselves. Brian Hurd's going to bring in Jones. So Garen Jones comes in for Jamari Bryant. Brian Hurd wants to make sure. He might need his guy tomorrow. Smart sub. Squire is fouled from behind. Bulldogs are racking them up here now, up to 4 team fouls. And we're going to go to a timeout. 13:58 to go, an 8-point lead for the Trojans. We will step aside. Back to live action with some free throws upcoming here for DJ Squire. He's got 9 points. And off on the first one. Chris Sheeman back here with you from the home studio in Greenville, South Carolina. Watching this D2 Region 10 quarterfinal. 1 out of 2 for Squire, so he does get into double figures. Trojans by 9. They've led by as many as 12. Pitt led briefly early on by a couple. Martin up top. Scoop over to Smith. The reverse no good by Roberts, but it's put back up and in by Smith. Carl Roberts has come into the game. Huggins on the bench. Jamari Bryant on the bench, both cooling off after getting into it. No, correction. Huggins is still in there, and he committed the swipe down on Jeremy Bryant, so foul called. And Jeremy Bryant will shoot 2. Bulldogs right now can't seem to play defense without fouling. Jeremy Bryant, 12 points here tonight. 73% shooter on the season. Baker's dozen now for Jeremy. Daniel Green into the game. Scoreless first half for him. Jamari Bryant back in the game. And Jeremy now with 14 here tonight. Lead is 9 again for the Trojans. McLaughlin gets it down low. They don't buy the flop. Hines got the buckets, and then after the play, a whistle. And it looks like it's going on Jeremy Bryant. They call a block. I mean, if you're going to call it, fine, but call it like 3 seconds earlier. I think that's the only complaint from the Fayetteville crowd. So Hines at the line, 55% free throw shooter, can't complete the 3-point play. Green the rebound. Or is it ahead to Richardson? Richardson attacks and scores. What a play for Fayetteville. James Richardson has 8. Trojans by 9. Martin. Jones on a switch. Now here is McLaughlin. Takes it left of the lane, double pumps it, shoots no. Rebound controlled by the Trojans. Jones dribbles out of trouble, brings it into the forecourt, blows by everybody, rejected by Hines. And it's out of bounds, last touched by Pitt. Potter back into the game as Jeremy Bryant gets a breather. Green top of the key. Potter with the fake, pass tipped and off of Huggins. 8 to shoot for Fayetteville. Potter will inbound it over near his coach. Richardson back to him, back to Richardson. Bryant for 3, contested, couldn't get it. Put back is good for Jones. Garen Jones, his first bucket, well earned. Lead back to double figures for the Trojans for the second time here tonight as we go inside the 12-minute mark. 11:47 to be exact here in this fourth and final quarterfinal. Day 2 of the Region 10 tournament. Moving the Cape Fear Community College. Semifinals tomorrow at 2 and 4. Championship Sunday at 1. Martin the step back. They have done a nice job, Fayetteville, defensively on Philip Martin. He does have 10 points, only 3 shy of his average, but he's been looking for more. That's going to be an offensive foul as Richardson was out of control. Restricted area or not. I've noticed officials, especially this year, seem to just be ignoring the restricted area. Can we just get away from that? The restricted area was set up to stop Dennis Rodman from falling down every time somebody breathed on him underneath the basket. He used to do that when he was in Chicago with the Bulls. Now, that was like, 25 years ago. Nobody, well, maybe Ginobili for the Spurs, but it's all NBA guys who have mostly taken advantage of that kind of nonsense. It was never a problem in college. College implemented it, though, and I don't know. I think it's time to get away from it. I like the officials just kind of ignoring it personally. Catch and shoot, Martin. Yes. Big one for Martin and Pitt. Timeout called by the Bulldogs. 11 minutes exactly to go here in the quarterfinals. We'll be back. Welcome back, everybody. That's me, Chris Sheeman, here with you from the home studio in Greenville, South Carolina. Well, that weather we were supposed to get, I was worried about power getting knocked out, not being able to call this game. It was a whimper of a storm. Hopefully it stays that way because it's heading your way. Here is Green. He's stripped. Turnover. Trouble with it. Roberts has to go to the ground. And do we have a whistle? Is it a foul or a jump ball? Looks like it's going to be a foul on the Trojans. Both teams with 5 team fouls. 10:40 to go in the game. And Martin ready to inbound it here for Pitt. Both these teams hot entering tournament play. Bulldogs winning in the first round over Southwest Virginia by 11. Won 4 out of 5 entering tonight's game. Fayetteville's won 7 of 8. Month of February was a great month for them, piling up the stats. Season high in three-point shooting, offensive rebounds a game at 15.3, assists per game at 14.1. Surprisingly, though, their overall field goal percentage at 43% was the lowest of any month. Still winning basketball games, though. Here's Martin looking for his shot. Yes, and the foul. Philip Martin, 15 points. He's got the last 5 for the Bulldogs. 74% free throw shooter looking for an old school three-point play. A little wet spot out on the court, and Daniel Green handling that for us. Martin, I mentioned 43% from 3 this season. He's 27th in Division II in that category. It's like Jeremy Bryant to be specific, and Richardson both back out there for Fayetteville. Squire returning as well. So Martin, with a 6-0 run of his own, has cut the deficit down to 5. Richardson surveys. It's it over to Squire. Cross court to Jones. Up top to Jamari. Jamari attacks. And took a hard hit from Smith. 16 foul on the Bulldogs. We're going to see a lot of free throws down the stretch, folks. Fayetteville Tech is number 1 in the country at getting to the line, but everybody in this region is good at it. So Jamari with 10, make it 11 points, 63% free throw shooter this season. And he gets them both. Nice answer there for the Trojans. We're at the midway point here in the final quarterfinal. The 3 seed over the 6 seed right now. Trojans 58, Bulldogs 51. Catch and shoot 3 by Martin. Heat check time, couldn't get it to go. Ball tipped to Jamari. Richardson into the forecourt. Guarded out deep by Roberts. We've seen a little zone from Pitt. We've seen a little matchup from Pitt right now. Continuing in that matchup zone. Cutter is Jones, and he draws contact. So both teams in the 1-1 over the final 9 minutes and 31 seconds. And Garen Jones, good second half minutes for Brian Hurd's team. 85% free throw shooter. Well, you throw out all the free throw shooting stats when it comes to March, don't you? Jaquan Mosley in for Pitt. He's down low with Huggins. Hines is out there. Martin and McLaughlin. So 1 out of 2 for Jones. Lead is 8 for the Trojans. 9:27 and counting to go in the game. McLaughlin, top of the key, Martin. Takes it to the elbow. Hangs can't score. Follows his miss. Flips it up. No. We'll call it a pass to Mosley, who's stripped but foul. Is this a two-shotter or a one-and-one here? It's a two-shotter for Mosley. Jaquan Mosley scoreless first half. 64% free throw shooter on the season. Rims in the second. So 1 out of 2. Lead is 7 for the Trojans. Fayetteville Tech, a 22-win season, 16-6 in the region. Jeremy Bryant dribbling, and a timeout called by Brian Hurd. 9:03 to go here in this one. Trojans 59, Bulldogs 52. We'll be right back. Once again, a brief look at the all-region team. Congratulations to everybody, especially to Avery Huggins, who's got 20 points tonight, Region 10 Player of the Year. Richardson putting the moves on. Swings it out to Jones. Inside 9 to go in this one. Richardson attacks baseline to the hoop. Yes! James Richardson in double figures with 10. 4 players in double figures. Both Bryants have a combined 26. And then Richardson and Squire with 10 points each. Martin to Huggins. Roberts in the corner, back to McLaughlin. Martin again. And he lost it off of his knee out of bounds. Hines will come back into the game for Derek Mullins. Both teams in the 1-1. Possession arrow right now favoring the Bulldogs. Richardson, Jamari traveled with the basketball. Back-to-back turnovers. Pitt will get it back now. Winner gets Lenore tomorrow, approximately 4 p.m. Have it right back for you here on the Region 10 tournament page. Tough nose bucket there by McLaughlin. His second of the game. Richardson and Jeremy breaking some trapping pressure. Squire. Bryant back out to Squire for 3. Yes! 13 for DJ Squire. Lead is 10 again for the Trojans. McLaughlin hangs, and it's a blocking foul. They'll count the bucket. So all of a sudden, Patrick McLaughlin looking for his shot. He's got 6, 72% free throw shooter. Can complete an old school three-point play. That's 9 team fouls, 2 on the Trojans. Remember how important free throws have been to this series. So yeah, both teams are in the bonus, but Trojans about to send the Bulldogs into the double bonus. And it looks like we got a lane violation. Everybody a little antsy. Can't afford those kind of errors right now if you're looking to come from behind. Is that Moncrief over on the far side back in the game? I believe so. Came in for Jeremy. Squire again, not that time. Rebound goes to Jamari, and it's lost out of bounds off the Trojans. 7 minutes left to go. Bulldogs basketball down by 8. Can they make the comeback happen here? McLaughlin. Catch and shoot by Hines. Can't get the 3. Good box out there, Jamari Bryant. Richardson will back it out now. That's a Green in the game. My apologies, not Moncrief. Green blocked from behind by Hines. Hines averages over a block a game. Bulldogs 7.2 rebounds per game. And it looks like we have a timeout going to be called here. So 6:26 left. Is there a timeout or what is happening? Get control over this game, please. 6:26 to go. We do have a timeout, so we will step aside. All right, welcome back, everybody. Chris Sheeman, glad to be with you. Quarterfinal action. Trojans basketball, 6:24 to go. Here's Jones getting extended minutes here in the second half. Jamari Bryant, the step back, yes. Jamari Bryant with 14 points. Trojans by 10. So far, they've held off any rally attempt by the Bulldogs. Martin briefly heated up, went on a 6-0 run of his own after Fayetteville went up by 11. Martin cut the deficit down to 5. McLaughlin's been looking for his shot now. He goes to the free throw line. That's 10 team fouls on the Trojans. Double bonus the rest of the way for Pitt. Ooh, in and out for Patrick on the first one. 6 points tonight for McLaughlin. Jeremy Bryant back in. Green goes out. Richardson, Bryant, Squire, and Jones. So McLaughlin has 7. Lead is 9 for Fayetteville Tech. The 3 seed over the 6 seed. Will we have back-to-back upsets? Right now the Trojans in control of this game. Throwaway there. Huggins throws it ahead. To the bucket, laying it up and in is Martin. So Martin with 18 points. It's a 7-point game. Another stop and steal. McLaughlin draws contact again. Got to start hitting both of your free throws now if you're the Bulldogs. They've done a nice job getting into the double bonus here. 5:07 left to go in a game that we knew was going to be decided by free throws because the first two were, for the most part. Potter returns for Fayetteville Tech. And McLaughlin this time gets them both. He's got 9 points. So a 5-point game. Pitt's cut the deficit in half here. Jeremy back to Richardson. Squire, Richardson, back to Squire. As they survey against the zone. Jamari on the wing. Shot clock at 8. Shot clock at 6. Jamari, yes! Baseline shot, what a bucket. Jamari Bryant, 16. Martin, the circus shot, no. Deflected out by Huggins. Huggins goes to the ground trying to keep hope alive. It's wrestled away by Pitt, and then they got a timeout called. Trojans by 7. 4:24 to go in the game. We will take a break. Welcome back, everybody. Trojans basketball, Fayetteville Tech, 68-61 over Pitt Community College. Chris Sheeman back here with you at the home studio in Greenville, South Carolina. Richardson into the forecourt, guarded by Hines, and called for the offensive foul. Hines hit the deck. Bulldogs get a stop here. Biggest lead for the Trojans has been 12. They've had double-digit leads 3 or 4 different times here in the second half. Huggins. Extra pass. What a play by Huggins to Hines. Hines now with 9. Huggins has 20 in the game. Couple of nice dimes, too, like that one. 5-point game again. Every time Pitt gets it within 5, Fayetteville makes something happen, and they're going to the free throw line for a 1-and-1 here for Potter. Aaron Potter right at his season average right now at 8 points. 63% free throw shooter. 8th team foul for Pitt. Front end is good, so Potter now can get into double figures if he can net this second one. And he does. Trojans answer again. Martin to the hoop. Throws it up, gets the whistle. Look, it's smart basketball. They've called it very tight here in the second half. Trojans are frustrated. We might have had a foul out here. Did Jeremy Bryant just foul out? I believe so. Jones is into the game now. Martin at the line. So that's a huge call. Martin now can get to 20 points to match Huggins for the team's lead. And he does. 40 of the 65 from Philip Martin and Avery Huggins here tonight. Can the Trojans answer again? Now they're without Jeremy Bryant. Who will step up? Jamari, of course, still in the game. They get a stop here. Pitt does. Hines the rebound. Roberts into the forecourt. 3:17 to go. Here's Martin. Looking for a screen from Hines. Bounce pass to Huggins with 9 to shoot. Huggins backing down. Rejected. What a play. Jamari Bryant. Terrific defense. Inside 3 minutes to go. Richardson drives to the hoop, swatted by Huggins. What a response for Huggins. Fast break now, and the layup is good. That's Hines, I believe. 3-point game, 2:37 left to go. We go to another timeout. Lost Jeremy Bryant. They'll have the basketball, a 3-point lead. Trojans have led by as many as 12. Jeremy Bryant has fouled out of the game. Here's Richardson. Jamari to the hoop, draws the foul. And again, much like we talked about with Martin on the other end, a smart play. Both teams have been fouling with consistency down the stretch, so keep attacking. Go at them. When you're the Trojans and you have the lead, a closely called game like this benefits you. So Jamari, 17 points as he gets the first free throw. Can make it a 5-point advantage here. And he does. Timeout by Fayetteville. We will step aside again briefly here. So if you are thinking maybe waiting to see if your team can make it to the semifinals, there's some of the information on tickets. Called games at Cape Fear before. It's a really beautiful area. Right in downtown Wilmington, right by the Riverwalk there. Just a nice place to watch some basketball and get something to eat afterwards. Here's Huggins hanging and scoring. Player of the year makes it a one-possession game. 22 for Huggins. Inside 2 to go. We expected this one to be a barn burner, and guess what, folks? It is. Richardson attacking. Extra pass, but before that, we got an offensive foul called on Richardson. Brian Hurd's going to lose his mind. A tight one again in Region 10. This tournament here in the quarterfinals, the first 2 games, one relatively easy by Davidson and Catawba. And then Lenore pulled off the biggest upset in recent history in Region 10 in our first evening game, defeating Bryan and Stratton. We'll put the bracket up while they clean up the wet spot. And then this one coming down to the wire again. No Jeremy Bryant. He fouled out of the game for Fayetteville. Trojans have led by as many as 12 here tonight. McLaughlin out deep. Out to Martin. Bounce pass to Huggins. Huggins the flip, can't score. Nice defense, Jamari Bryant. Floats it ahead, Squire. Nobody's back on Jones. The recovery by Hines. Here comes Pitt. Martin thought about it. Out to Roberts for the tie. An air ball, but it's put up and in by Huggins. It's a 1-point game. 24 for Huggins. Minute 10 to go. 72-71. Timeout. Derek Mullins. Okay, let's run back the last couple of plays, shall we? First of all, this looked like a clear bucket here for Fayetteville. What recovery. All right, so then that happens. Then back to the offensive side of things. Trying to tie it, couldn't do it. Comes right to the player of the year who says, oh yeah, I'm the player of the year. Let me just do this thing. 72-71. These two rivals, oh man. What a game it's been. Trojans, minute 7 to go. Squire, top of the key. Here's Richardson. And a foul going to be called on Hines. It's been tightly called. So Richardson at the line, 10 points on the night, 59% free throw shooter. Off the back iron on the first. Bulldogs have not had the lead since the very early stages of this game. Trojans went up by double figures 3 different times, but Jeremy Bryant fouled out a couple moments ago. Missed them both, but the offensive rebound, what a play, Jamari Bryant. Stepping up in a big moment. They get the ball to him here. Jamari Bryant playing keep away. Out to Squire, who's been hot from 3 tonight. Potter's played well as well from behind the arc. Shot clock at 2, they got a hoist. Richardson can't get it. Offensive rebound by Bryant again. He's trying to get tied up, or McLaughlin trying to tie him up. And do they call a foul on McLaughlin? Yes, they do. That will send Jamari Bryant to the line, 63% free throw shooter. Bryant has 18 points tonight. Oof, short on that one. 1.4 is the difference between the game and shot clock. If the Bulldogs get a stop here, Well, it's a moot point now. I was going to say maybe they could hold for the final shot. They could still do that if they want to force overtime with the 2 or win it with the 3. I've seen more and more coaches going quickly, though. So we'll see what the Bulldogs and Derek Mullins draw up with the Trojans up 73-71. We'll be back. Back to live action. 1.4 difference between the game and shot clock. Bulldogs with the basketball down by 2. They have not led since the early going. That pass was way off by Martin looking for Huggins. Oh, critical error for the Bulldogs. Now you've got to go for the steal, and if not, quickly foul with 19.7. So some time to play with, but not a ton. And they do commit the foul. That's Potter over on the far side. He'll go to the free throw line. 1 free throw makes it a 1-possession game. 2 free throws puts the Trojans in the driver's seat here. Lenore waiting for the winner of this one. Both teams in the double bonus, by the way. We told you free throws would factor in. They have factored in. Both teams missing a lot of them, though. Potter gets 1 out of 2. So Pitt needs a 3 here. They throw it full court, and they throw it out of bounds. Was it deflected, though? The Trojans deflected it. If not, it would have been a turnover. 16 seconds to go. Now, if you're Pitt, 16 seconds is enough for 2 possessions. 2 very quick possessions, but it's enough. So we'll see what they do here with the wet spot out on the court. Martin, their best 3-point shooter, will inbound it. Hines on the court is a 28% shooter from 3. Huggins, 35%. He's got the range. They get it into Hines. Now they go back to Martin. 12 seconds. Martin to Huggins, 10 seconds. Shoots the triple to tie it. No. Offensive rebound, Hines. Trickles it out. Huggins to tie. Yes! 1.3. We are tied at 74. Avery Huggins, the player of the year. Showing you why, ladies and gentlemen. My goodness. What a shot by Huggins. So they're going to put a couple extra ticks on the clock. Let's go back and look at this. Big guy knew. He knew time was running out. Looks like there might have been a little bit more than that. So 1.6. Fayetteville will have to heave and hope. If not, we're going to overtime, folks. Inbound, full court heave is no good, and that will do it. The Bulldogs come from 12 back in the second half. The 6th seed forces overtime. You wouldn't have it any other way, would you, ladies and gentlemen? We'll take a break, bring you the overtime period here in just a moment. We go to overtime, ladies and gentlemen. The player of the year, Avery Huggins. 27 points here tonight. The game win or the game tying three-pointer. Remember, Fayetteville Tech is without Jeremy Bryant. He fouled out of the game. So Bulldogs get the first crack at it here in overtime. Chris Shima, glad to be back with you. Winner plays number 10 Pitt tomorrow in our second semifinal at 4 p.m. Martin lost the dribble. It's recovered, though, by Roberts, who attacks had it blocked, and a blocking foul is going to be called. Trojans cannot believe some of these whistles here tonight. Potter is saying, I'm on the ground. I was outside the restricted area. What do I have to do to get a charge? Another wet spot that Jones for the Trojans cleaning up. So both teams, remember the fouls carry over, so double bonus for both teams here. As Carl Roberts goes to the line, a 70% free throw shooter. Good on that first one. Got them both. First 2 points for the Bulldogs. This is the Bulldogs' first lead since the early going. Fayetteville Tech, if you're just joining us, had a 12-point lead, had an 11-point lead, and had a 10-point lead at various points in the second half. Richardson attacks. Nice bucket there by Richardson here in overtime. McLaughlin into the forecourt. Roberts takes it himself. Corner, it's Hines. 7 to shoot. Huggins going to work with 3. Contested, banks it anyways. Avery Huggins going to work, he's stripped. And he comes from behind to recover and swat it. So no transition bucket. It'll stay with the Bulldogs, though. Jamari Bryant with 19 points. Jeremy Bryant, who fouled out, with 15. Huggins on the wing. Huggins to the lane, flips it, no. The rebound tipped to him. First shot, no. Putback is good for Huggins. Over 30 tonight for Avery Huggins, the Region 10 Player of the Year. Bulldogs have their biggest lead of the game. It's at 4. And a strip by McLaughlin. What a play. Timeouts are a premium, but if the Bulldogs score here, we might see Brian Hurd burn one of them. McLaughlin up top. It's tough when one of your top scorers fouls out of the game. Huggins swings it out. Roberts extra pass. McLaughlin and a whistle. More free throws to come. Avery Huggins, Patrick McLaughlin going to the line now. 2:40 to go in overtime. In and out, back in for McLaughlin, who's in double figures now with 10. Right about his season average. 4.6 assists per game, top 40 in that category. 1 out of 2. Rebound controlled by Jones for Fayetteville, who's in for Jeremy Bryant. Here's Jamari. See if they can get Squire open. He's been hot from 3. Richardson creates, ball deflected out. Squire from the half circle. No good. Put back, trickles out for Jones, and then we have a whistle on the third attempt for Fayetteville. And the player of the year has just fouled out of the game. Huggins is gone. So the top 2 players for both teams now out of the game. Jamari Bryant, free throw is good. 20 on the night for Jamari. Well, this is interesting now, isn't it? Pitt had all the momentum once Jeremy Bryant left. Now, how does Fayetteville respond to Pitt losing Huggins? 1 possession game. Bulldogs basketball in a 3-point lead and another whistle. It's gotten a little ridiculous, hasn't it? The Zebras clearly want to be a part of this. Now, we told you, if you're just joining us, the first 2 regular season meetings were decided by free throws. Pitt won the first one by 2, but they were +8 in free throws. Trojans +10 in free throws in an 11-point victory back in February. So free throws have played a role in this series all year long. But, come on. Let's let the players decide things. You got the top 2 players from both teams out of the game. That's not helpful. 1 out of 2 for McLaughlin, so it's a 2-possession game. Jamari Bryant up top. Now, Fayetteville, even without Jeremy, they still got Jamari. Pitt still has Martin, so guys who can score the basketball. Brian Hurd wants to talk things over. We go inside 2 minutes here in overtime. Bulldogs in a 2-possession game. Welcome back, everybody. Chris Sheeman here with you in overtime. Minute 58 left to go. 2-possession game. Fayetteville Tech with the basketball down by 4. Led by 12. Double figures 3 different times in the second half. Squire gets it to Jamari Bryant. He attacks. Contested shot. Can't get the bounce. Put back, though, is good. Jones filling in for Jeremy Bryant. Makes it a 1-possession game. Here we go. McLaughlin. Minute 30 to go. Here in overtime. Martin attacks, hangs, can't score. Ball tipped back to Martin, but they're calling Smith over the back. So Fayetteville's going to get the benefit of a call that they, if you ask them, feel like they sorely deserve. It's also going to be a double bonus because on a rebound, it's a defensive foul. So now Smith is fouled out. They bring Roberts back in, and Hines will play down low. So now a lack of size. Correction, Mosley's going to come back into the game. Is that Green again? I can't see his jersey number, but yeah, it is Green. Just a 41% free throw shooter. He can tie us at 82. So Green, just 1 out of 2, ball out of bounds, and it's off the Trojans. Bulldogs clinging. Avery Huggins is fouled out of the game with 31, including the tying 3 near the end of regulation, to send us to overtime. But he's out of the game. McLaughlin now with 1:02 to go. Attacks the runner. No. Rebound controlled by Green. Trojans trying to get the lead back. Potter on the wing. Bryant back to Potter. Green up top. Pass off the mark, deflected to Green, out to Potter. Potter down low to Green. Green got hit. He's going to the free throw line. So Daniel Green, again, sub 50% free throw shooter, went 1 out of 2 earlier, going back to the line. Missed it. You can still tie it. Bulldogs got to get Philip Martin a shot on this next possession. Fayetteville Tech's done a nice job going to Jamari Bryant here. Green ties it, 1 out of 2. Timeout by Fayetteville. Nothing decided here late in overtime. We are even at 82 apiece. What a game this has been. We'll step aside. Chris Sheeman, glad to be with you from the home studio in Greenville, South Carolina. These night games have been something else, haven't they? In overtime, 7.5 different between the game and shot clock here. It'll be Bulldogs basketball, and I think we might have had another timeout called. So we're going to go away again here just briefly. Okay, ready to go now. It's Pitt basketball. 37.5. Full court press is on for the Trojans here. Martin inbound it, and he will call for time. So Bulldogs got to figure out the press here. We'll take time again. Giving you another look at the all-region selections here in 2023. Chris Sheeman, glad to be back with you. It's been a long day. Trojans and Bulldogs want to keep playing into the night here. It's going to remain Pitt basketball. So they will have to inbound it, go the length of the court. Trojans set up in a press before the second timeout. This one called by Pitt. Another wet spot out on the floor. Had a lot of moisture. It's been humid. Cold front's coming your way, y'all. Martin inbound it. McLaughlin. So Trojans backing off. Oh, the voice is going. 30 seconds to go. They find Martin. Can Martin create something here? Squire on him. Gets around him. The runner, yes! Pitt goes up 22 in the game for Martin. Last shot time here if Fayetteville wants it. And they have the guy they want to have the basketball, Jamari Bryant, with it. Look out for Squire. Green will try a three. No good. Tip for the rebound. It's wrestled away by Martin. And the Bulldogs, with 3/10, are going to the free throw line. Holy cow. What'd I tell you? They had to find Philip Martin with Avery Huggins fouled out of the game. They did so down the stretch, and it looks like the Bulldogs are going to win this thing. They'll check the time, most likely, here. What a comeback for Pitt. Fayetteville fans will point to the fact that Jeremy Bryant fouled out late in that second half, but Huggins hit a big three to tie it, then Huggins fouled out. So they add 7/10. There will be 1 second left to go, but it's going to have to be a heave and hope. And if the Bulldogs get both these free throws, it really won't matter. So we might have our second straight upset, although this one a little more mild than the 10 over the 2. Get out of the way, let them heave it. The Bulldogs come from 12 back. They win it in overtime. And they will play Lenoir in the semifinals. Philip Martin, 4 points down the stretch, wins it for his team as we take an updated look at the bracket. So we will be with you tomorrow, 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. Our first semifinal, the 1 seed Davidson and the 5 seed Catawba, and then Lenoir and Pitt after that one. The Bulldogs win their 18th game of the season. The Trojans' season ends in heartbreak at 22-8 this year. Fayetteville Tech has nothing to hang their heads about. The Bulldogs win it here tonight, 86-82. We'll be with you again tomorrow starting at 2 p.m. Can't wait for those semifinal games. Come on back, everybody. Until then, have yourselves a great night.